go back here. I built this scrambled eggs, and I built this, it's like a shuttle loop, but I put 2 loops and a on-ride photo right here to take their picture. Um, and it got a 5.8 excitement rating with 7.7 intensity. A little high. I didn't really want that high of an intensity rating, and I think what that comes from is probably the 2 vertical loops and, you know, all these inversions and stuff like that. A lot of positive vertical G's is probably the main source, so I'm thinking all the rapid height increases and all that, like, there's just maybe a couple ways I could have changed it to get rid of some of that, but it wasn't really worth it to me, so I just went ahead and went with it. This excitement rating is good, and people are in line for it and riding it, so that's good. I charged $2 for it with a $2 on-ride photo. And you can also check to see how many on-ride photos are sold. It looks like 129 out of 757 people have bought the on-ride photo, so that's just yeah, that's just a good way of checking to see if your price is right for that. So not everyone's gonna buy it either. You can have it like practically at free, and people just won't buy it. But you don't really want to do that because I think it does cost money to produce the on-ride photos. Yeah, like it costs 20 cents because the profit is 180 out of $2. So you wouldn't want to make it free, but you could definitely make it cheap. And yeah, so and the last thing that I built was this little car ride I threw in kind of at the end of my park here. And I put red cars with white racing stripes. And since they're sports cars, I decided to make the track black to make it more like you're driving on asphalt rather than, I think they gave me purple as the default track color, and I thought that was kind of didn't fit with the sports cars, so got rid of that. At this point, I could make this queue a little bit longer, possibly, but also there's kind of trade-offs to making the queue longer, and this ride there's only 2 people per car, so only 22 people on the ride at a time, and these people back here, I mean, pretty happy, but yeah, you definitely don't want the queue going too long, so. And yeah, my park is doing pretty good. We can look at the recent messages. I think I got a whole bunch of guests commenting that my park entrance fee was too cheap and I could raise the price to make some more money. In my opinion, you don't really have to do that, especially for this park. For some of the longer parks, if you need the cash, you can definitely do it, but I want to keep my guests in here as long as possible, and right now it's looking like this guest is pretty new, so let's see if we can find someone who's been here for a while. Yeah, let's go to just all guests here. It's too crowded here, that's what he's saying. So yeah, this guy paid $5 to enter the park, and he spent $18 on rides, so he's got plenty of cash left over, and he's like one of the first people here. And the main thing, yeah, these guests that have been here a long time, they're staying happy, so that's good to see that. I'll go ahead and raise this. I'll raise it to 25. I think that's still pretty fair. There's a couple roller coasters and plenty of other amusement rides here, so with all the attractions, I think I can get away with $25 entrance fee. If you do need to get guests in your park at the end and you can't do it any other way, like a last minute like desperation thing, is you can go into the marketing over here and you can click and you can tell it to advertise for the park or for like a particular ride, or for, you can do these coupons too. So any of those are good ways of getting people to come to your park. You'll probably net about 50 to 100 guests like in the next month. Pretty much immediately, yeah, you'll get an extra 50 to 100 guests. And if you want to keep them, the way you keep them in your park is you make all your rides really cheap after that. You can make your entrance fee high, but as long as your rides are free or really cheap, your guests aren't going to run out of money, so they'll pretty much stay happy. Another thing, This park, it does rain quite a bit, so if you have this information kiosk, as soon as it comes up, people will buy umbrellas, which you can see them sporting now. That makes you a ton of money. The umbrellas cost $2, and so you get 50 cents profit per, and then the maps cost 10 cents, and you get 50 cents profit for each map as well. So, and with the, let's go over food real quick. I usually like to keep the profit pretty reasonable on the food. But as you can see, the information kiosk, I was going to 50 cents. I'm going to make the profit for the food all 50 cents too. And there's not like any set cost for food that you should just abide by. You can pretty much charge just about anything, and people pretty much pay for it. I wouldn't go too expensive though. Yeah, I've only sold 35 burgers. I think the hunger thing is just kind of it's really just an overtime thing. So people will over time get hungry enough and they'll go and find your food stalls, but you don't really need them in a 1 year park because it's just not gonna, you're not really gonna get that far to where guests are hungry enough for it. So if you do see a message across the bottom here that says guests are hungry and can't find a place to eat, that means either you don't have enough food stalls or they're not located properly. Like, I put this food stall at the entrance and that was kind of stupid in retrospect, since my park is all here. The best place to put the food would be either towards the back or kind of in the middle here. Maybe like right here, just put a row of food stalls. And that way guests don't have to walk as far to get food, and it's more people are going to see it when they're back here. And this is kind of like the area of the park where I kind of have the guests circulating, so it's going to get the most attention if you put it there. I did see one guest comment that it's too crowded here, and that is gonna make your guests mad. I have 600 guests and not a very big pathing system. So if you want, even though I don't have any more attractions to build, I could just build a path that goes further so there's more room for the guests. I'm not gonna, well, I don't know. I suppose I could build just real quick for you guys. Yeah, with the 9th, I'm gonna build a quick steel mini coaster in the back and build a path that goes to it. Oh, and just to show you that thing I was talking about earlier, see all these weeds out here? I can just click on them like this, and they're immediately deleted. So, oops, I did not mean to do that. And so yeah, that just for aesthetics makes it look nice and neat. I'm gonna try and put the roller coaster right in here. I'm actually gonna put it a little bit back. Put the station like right here. And then this is kind of a cool thing about the Steel Mini. You can have this rotating chain lift. Where the other ones you have to go straight when you're going up the chain, but with the Steel Mini you can rotate around, so it's kind of nice. I'm not gonna make this anything too fancy because it's right at the end of my park and it doesn't have to be too great. I don't think it's gonna matter. People will probably just ride it just because it's a ride. So most annoying thing is trying to build a roller coaster with all the scenery already there. And that's one really kind of annoying thing about this park, is they give you a lot of trees and you can try and build around them, but I don't think it's really worth it to do. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying my best here, but yeah, it's obviously not too important. I'm gonna go kind of do like maybe do just like a little thing like this, and that way I can have the path that goes up to it so that people can see it as they're walking over here.